Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You may find us on television. That's Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. And we are also with Classic Country, WZLA. You can find them on the dial, and that's 92.9 FM. Thank you again so much for sending email. You continue doing that. Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna at donnasedge.com. Again, thank you so much for being with us. I've got AP Steadham with us, and he's globetrotting all over Kingdom Come. Where are you at now?
I'm actually in Oakland, California, Donna, for Super Bowl number 60. And so we're in the Bay Area. This is 10 years ago. The 50th Super Bowl was hosted here. I was involved. I covered that event on because Kenny Stabler, they were going to make an announcement if he was going to be elected to the class, the Pro Football Hall of Fame class, and he was. He was announced that week. So 10 years later, here I am again. It's another Super Bowl number 60.
Wow, that's going to be awesome. You know, a lot of folks watch the game, but they also watch the commercials. They're excited to see the new fun commercials that come on. Any idea about any new sponsors or anything like that?
No, this is our first day getting situated down. The teams arrived on Sunday evening, the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. So this is our first day, but tonight they'll be televised. We'll be down among those couple thousand media members interviewing the players and the coaches and the owners there, any of the staff and from the organization. They televise it. It's 1 hour for one team, and then there's an hour in between, I believe, and then there's an hour for the other team. So we'll be getting those interviews. And Donna, they could watch all the interviews, everything I do like normal, like always, at AP as we see it on my YouTube channel, all those interviews with different people.
Well, I know all of the interviews are going to be really exciting for you, but is there any one particular one you hope to grab?
Well, I don't know if I can grab him. Sam Darnold, the quarterback of Seattle, I had met him years ago when he was at USC, University of Southern California in Los Angeles, interviewed him a couple of times, and then actually sat down with him a couple of years ago, Don. He was a backup for the San Francisco 49ers at a Super Bowl. So Sam's been on, I guess it's 5 teams, and here he is with a chance be a Super Bowl winning quarterback for the favored team, I should say, 3 or 4 points. Not a big spread, so anybody can win. So the Patriots have a young quarterback, Drake May, out of the University of North Carolina, and Sam Darnold out of the University of Southern California. So I would say I'm favoring the Seattle Seahawks based on Sam's more mature as a quarterback. But you can tell that it's could be a close ball game based on the point spread that's listed right now.
Well, let's talk about the game and how you predict it to come out.
Yeah, they both have pretty strong defenses, Donna. The Patriots did not score a lot of points in the playoffs. So that's why I'm leaning to the Seattle Seahawks. I think it was a couple of games, 16 or under, and I'm not sure if anybody's ever done that in one playoff games to reach the Super Bowl. So that's kind of unique. But that's their style of winning, Donna. They play tough defense, hold everybody out of the end zone. You can win a ball game that way. But I just think Seattle just have a little bit more offensively to take command and win the ball game.
Let's talk about your event. You have an event tonight, am I correct?
Right, yeah. The event tonight, Donna, literally, Donna, it's, I would say, minimum a couple thousand, maybe it's more than a couple thousand, actually, of media members that will be at the San Jose Convention Center. And they have all the players and all the entire organization is available for interviews. So you try to work strategically, Donna, because if there's 10 people in line to interview somebody, you have to move from that line and go to the next player, the next coach. you're trying to get as many interviews as possible. And sometimes, Donna, especially maybe an assistant coach, they're by themselves. They're standing there and willing and able to give interviews. So that's what I look for immediately, so I can get those interviews done and then move on to the players, because everybody flocks to the, let's say, starters and the star players immediately, and then it tends to wane down over time, and then maybe you can catch them on the back half of the hour.
Mm-hmm. Well, so if you had to pick and choose, I'm going to tell you, which team would you rather interview most?
Yeah, I don't have a preference per se, Donna, but I did have a chance to know Sam a little bit. So I guess you might say Seattle, but you're going to interview both teams and find out as much as you can. And Donna, we have Tuesday to interview them, Wednesday and Thursday as well. So you get tremendous access here at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's going to be great. And I'm glad you're there to cover that, because that's going to make a lot to your show and to my show as well. So let's talk coaches for a few minutes. Which do you think? Let's first of all, let's talk about the style of the coaches.
Yeah, I'm more familiar, I think, with Mike Vrabel, the coach of the Patriots, Donna. He played football at Ohio State. He played for Bill Belichick at the Patriots. He was a linebacker, and also he went in there sometime when they have a 2-point play, and he catch a 2-point conversion for the Patriots. So he was coach of the Titans, and he knows how to play defense. He knows how to win. I think he's won with the Patriots. He probably won 2 or 3 Super Bowls himself as a player. So I'm more familiar with him. I'm not as familiar with the Seattle coach. I will be by the time we get to the interviews, this evening and everything. But Mike Vrabel, good coach. First year your team's in the Super Bowl. That's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good. How do you think he made that happen?
Well, because he's been in the league as a player, and he's been in the league as a head coach as well. And Donna, being a player in the NFL doesn't mean you can coach, by no means.
True.
Because there's players, there's coaches who have not played in the league that have been very good coaches in the NFL. So that's probably the misnomer. A lot of times you hear a former athlete making the statement, well, I played and you didn't. Well, there's people that come from small schools, Donna. You never heard about that school particularly, and they become excellent NFL coaches. So coaching and playing, 2 different perspectives, 2 different avenues, completely different.
That's true. However, when you can get a coach that has played, I think that gives him extra insight as to what to expect from and how to make it.
It can, Donna. It can. There's no question. The players who have become excellent head coaches, you would think it happened more often, but it doesn't, because the players who were exceptional at the game, not everybody is as good as you. So you don't understand why they didn't make a particular play on the field. And because when you were out there, it was natural to you. So they don't have as much empathy with a player with less talent. So when you're coaching an entire football team, 53 people on the roster, there are ones that are barely making the league, and there are ones that are the superstars of the league. So it's completely different. So can you coach both? And can you coach all those different personalities, all those different levels of skill to make a good winning football team? If it was so easy, every team would have a former player as a coach.
Absolutely.
And they don't.
This question is a little bit off the cuff, but no, it goes without saying. Super Bowl is probably one of the most betted happenings that ever happens. So if someone is a gambler and they're listening to you right now, who do you think they need to place their bet on? Not me. I'm not asking for me.
Well, Donna, like I said, I would favor Seattle Seahawks, and I'm just basing that really on the fact that they have a very good defense and they have a more mature quarterback in Sam Darnold. But both of these teams are excellent. They had a lot of wins during the season, and they were able to make it through the gauntlet of competing in the playoffs to reach the Super Bowl, and they know how to win. So, like I said, the point spread is 3 or 4, 5 points, maybe at the most probably. So people are expecting a close competitive game. And, one turnover down, you get one turnover maybe you get 7 points, that switches the game from one team. Let's say you're supposed to win by 3 to the other team gets the touchdown and extra point. They're up by 4, let's say. So it's really, like every football game, Donna, you want to have 0 turnovers. You want to have a low number of penalties. You're trying to reach 0 in that regard. You're trying to have your quarterback calling the right plays on the field. I know they get them from the sideline. We know that. Their coaches are micromanaging their quarterbacks. But when you're out there, Donna, as a quarterback, you've got to make decisions. Does your quarterback make the right decisions that day? And then defensively, are you carrying out your assignments? Is there a mismatch that they've spotted in their preparation where you're at a complete disadvantage and you cannot recover and make the adjustments that they're trying to maybe direct their passing to one particular side of the field or that cornerback, or they're going against one defensive side of your line? Can you make those adjustments and stop the other team? Because we know that they have viewed the film of every game. They're looking for any tendency. Maybe it's on a play. Maybe it's one play where they saw that, let's say, the backside edge rusher was kind of, over aggressive, and he likes to come towards the quarterback. Maybe you run a reverse that side or something. I don't know. But they have everything mapped out, all the plays, every game that you competed against this season and beyond. They're going to look back too at the coaching tendencies of that head coach and those coordinators as well.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. If I were a betting person, I would not bet on this game. It's just going to be too close.
Good idea. Good idea.
Yeah, absolutely not. Let's cut into a commercial break, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes. I want to talk a little basketball when you get back.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Continue watching us any way you would like, and continue sending email. Donna@donnasedge.com. That's Donna@donnasedge.com. AP Steadham is with me right now. AP, I think it would be safe to say you're not setting in like a bunch of snow like we are here.
That's amazing, that snow up in North Alabama and that cold weather. Yeah, when I left Alabama, LA, lower Alabama, it was 19 degrees, Don. It was cold. Still was.
I'm not digging it. But I was going to, but the weather does have a lot to do with winning or losing ball games. I mean, of any kind.
It can. Yeah, it sure can, Donna, especially in football where the ball is not round, so it bounces all directions. But it's supposed to be, hopefully, I think in the 60s or so, maybe. Mm-hmm. And the game will be played south of the Oakland and San Francisco will be playing in Santa Clara. That's where the 49ers, their San Francisco 49ers, their home stadium. So I think it's probably going to be in the 60s or so. Nice weather for football.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be. And I checked the weather forecast. It looks like very little wind. So that could help too. So,
yeah. Yeah, clean game, throwing the ball right. Yeah, no winds.
Of course, I'm just telling you about the weather. I really don't know. So it changes from day to day. We're used to that with Alabama weather. I mean, where you have winter and summer all in the same day. So anyway, let's talk a little basketball. What are you hearing?
Yeah, basketball. Don, I'm glad you brought that up. Last week we had a guest on, Jay Billis. I think he's one of the better analysts in college basketball, does the game day. So he was our guest, and we were contemplating if there's a team maybe in the SEC that's really strong, but I think the level is not as good as last year. They had that record-setting amount of teams make the NCAA. I think it was 13 or was it 14. It was record-setting number, and I think they had a few teams that had a chance to win the Final Four. We know that Auburn made the Final Four, and of course Florida was the eventual champion. But this year, although there are plenty of teams that probably will make the NCAA tournament, I'm not sure if there's one strong enough to reach the Final Four down. It's a little bit different season.
Now that women's basketball, how's that turned out?
Yeah, women's basketball down a pretty competitive. The LSU and South Carolina and Texas and Tennessee and Alabama. I think Vanderbilt's been very good women's team. So there's a number on the women's side probably can reach the Final Four. I think there's multiple teams in the SEC on the women's side that can reach their Final Four.
Mm-hmm. Folks here are sending email about Clemson still. Any new news out of that?
Right. Yeah, they're still investigating, Donna, and we hope that it's going to be expeditious and not take a long time. We don't want it to go into a year or more. I mean, I'm thinking it's a short investigation because you have everything, and speak to the witnesses and let's proceed with the answer. We also know that LSU was being investigated as well, Donna, besides Ole Miss for their proposed tampering with Clemson. So LSU was in the same position with, I think it was Fresno State. It was a player they were seeking from Fresno State. So LSU was being investigated as well. So that's not good, Don, in this era where not very much enforcement is occurring. And we see that 2 SEC programs are among the number that have received the letters or notice from the NCAA that we want to speak to you about tampering.
Well, is this going to be a new norm with a whole new portal and the whole new way we're looking at college football?
Donna, you hope that this Clemson and Ole Miss situation brings some clarity. I mean, everybody's tampering right now, Donna. Like I said, and I'll explain the example to you. When you enter the transfer portal and you put down no contact, and the day after you sign with a team, well, obviously you were having discussions, or your representatives were having discussions before the night before, let's say. So I think everybody is tampering, and I don't know if the NCAA has the appetite to penalize teams for tampering, or I have no idea. That's why everybody's anxiously awaiting the decision.
Well, whether they actually do anything or not, that's going to set the precedence for the rest of the career of a football team.
It should set a precedent for everybody. This is the level of tampering we accept. Even though it's written in the rules, you're not supposed to tamper.
This reminds me, Phil used to work at Lowe's. He has retired like 3 times. And so he decided he wanted to go back to work. He wanted to work for Lowe's. And so the problem is people were stealing product, and this is another thing that happened is the thugs knew that they could steal at least $300 worth and not be put in jail. So guess what? That word got out. So everybody was stealing around $300 worth of stuff. That set a precedence. So the college football needs to get with this one. This we can blow into.
Yeah, the $300 level of tampering. Yeah, we're going to come up with that. That'll be the slogan. Send out the memo. You get $300 worth of tampering. That's it.
They need to talk to you about that. I'm going to whoever I need to call. I'm going to say talk with AP about that. Okay, AP, as we see it, this is your podcast. So, do you have any interviews set up on your podcast this week? You're going to be really busy with what's happening.
Yeah, we're going to be really busy with all the players. What I try to do, Donna, is emphasize all the SEC players that are on both teams. It's double digits, so it's a long list of players that we're going to try to interview if we can in the next 2 to 3 days, because Donna, what they did was they overlapped some of the interviews with some other press conferences. So I can't be in 2 places at once. For instance, they have the entertainment press conference will be Thursday. The people who will sing the national anthem, who perform at halftime, who will be some pregame singers. So that press conference simultaneously is being held at a moment where I think we have a chance to interview, I think, Seattle again, for the 4th time. So I have to make a decision. So we will get as many interviews of SEC players as we can on our YouTube channel, AP as we see it. And then we'll have photos, and you can watch all that on our Facebook page, Instagram page, X account. And Don, I think one of the interviews we're going to have this week on our show is Ronald Slay. Ronald, a basketball player from the University of Tennessee. He's out here in Media Row. And he played basketball at Tennessee, good ball player, but he also knows a little bit about football. He follows the football. So I think that's going to be fun to speak with him. We haven't set it up there, but I think he's going to be our guest, Ronald Slay from Tennessee. So all those folks know Big Ron.
How many minutes do you get to spend with each player?
Oh, Donna, it's 60 minutes for each team every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I think Thursday as well. So you have to make your selection. There's all those people, and what choices are you making? So that's why I try to categorize it. I'm going to try to use as many SEC players as possible, and then some interesting figures as well that are on the team.
Yeah, you really need to talk to the coaches and all that if you can.
Right, yeah, assistant coaches. So that's all within that 60 minutes. So you have to hustle.
I'd hate to have to choose which one.
Right.
It would be tough. It really would. But what is the possibility you're going to be able to talk to all the players?
Yeah, Don, like I say, 60 minutes, you have to make your choices. And when I was doing some preliminary preparation, I saw that each team had 10 plus SEC players on the roster. So my goal in the next 3 days is to interview every single SEC player on each team. And then, of course, I want to do some assistant coaches and some other interesting players on the team that produce, the points and the yardage, the rushing yards, the passing yardage, and the receiving yardage, and the people who make the most tackles, the interception. You're going to pick some other people outside of ones who attended SEC school.
Let's talk entertainment at the Super Bowl. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, what Charlie Puth is, I like Charlie. He's going to sing, I think he's singing the national anthem, I think. And then the other one, the halftime is, and Donna, maybe you know, is it something Bunny, right? Is it Bad Bunny or something? I forgot the guy, his name.
Bad Bunny, yeah. I don't know who it is. I'm not into rap music.
Yeah.
Or heard the name.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with him, but we'll see him on Thursday, live and up close. And I guess he's worldwide famous.
Yeah.
And so we know he's the choice, and many people, they speak the Spanish, so they're going to enjoy it. And usually the shows are pretty good. I don't know, Donna. It's everybody. It's your preference. I mean, how could you please everybody, Donna? You can't. Yeah.
Can't. Do you think there's going to be any mishaps like wardrobe malfunctions?
Oh, well, we know that entertainment business, Donna, some things happen that initially you think it's an accident, but really it's well thought out and planned. So I don't know.
Well, you can kind of tell by the wardrobe malfunction. I'll mention that one. I just, it just seemed fake because it was like, oops, it happened. It's kind of like that.
Yes.
But hey, it got attention, right?
Sure does. It sure does, Donna. It sure does. Absolutely.
Well, that's really not 1 minute left in this segment. What would you like to tell the folks before you go?
Yeah, enjoy the Super Bowl, Donna. It's a lot of fun. Watch the entertainment. Hopefully the game is competitive and close. And we're in the middle of basketball now, the SEC. So we're going to have some more guests about basketball like we did last week. Jay Billis discussed the SEC and basketball nationally. And like I said, we're hoping to have Ronald Slade, who played basketball at Tennessee. He's an analyst, or he's the pregame person that they have on TV all the time discussing the whole league. So, yeah, we're going to look at basketball. And we always discuss football all the time now. It's always in our mind.
Okay, now this is the last question. It's the most important question I'll be asking you about the Super Bowl. This is extremely important. Okay, so what will be your food of choice?
Donna, it depends on which party I attend. I'm not sure at the moment. But we don't go hungry. I can tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll probably do pizza. That's what we.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Yeah.
Hanging out here with a big screen. Absolutely.
Oh,
AP, thank you so much for being on the show with me today. I know it's exciting, and I know you're having a great time out there. But you be careful, okay?
Sure will. Thank you, Donna. Thank you so much.
And you guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Because of your overwhelming support, our 1488 MyPillow has been one of the biggest sales in MyPillow history. I couldn't think of a better way to say thank you than to extend our wholesale pricing through Christmas. Get a classic standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Upgrade to a queen size, just $18.88. King size, only $1 more. Get my body pillows for only $29.88. And ready? Multi-use MyPillows, only $9.88. It's perfect time to stock up for Christmas gifts for everyone on your list. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our wholesale pricing, including my classic standard MyPillows, only $14.88. But that's not all. I'm so confident you're going to love our classic MyPillows that I'm going to extend my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025. Plus, orders over $75 ship absolutely free.